What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. For today, code What's Good 10 instead of code What's Good 5 will work over at Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily for 10% off your order. That does not work on sealed though, it works on collector rares, singles, deck cores, anything else including gold rares if you're looking for that. But with Genesis Impact, I think it's bottoming out here early, and I'm gonna explain myself on why. A lot of vendors are playing hot potato with this set, not opening it up, not busting it, and with full cases even slinging out. When you're opening a case here in North America, it seems that the collector rare is replacing the slot of the ultra rare. This is confirmed to me from Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market, and that's meaning around 4 collector rares per case. We're at 32 total ultras pulled with 10 different ultra rares and only 3 per box. You're barely pulling a playset of each ultra, and then clumping's an issue and other stuff. So with people after the Drytrons, after the LCS, so much market movement on that, both for and against with text, this being the new part that people need, I do think it's somewhat underpriced where it's at and will probably start to climb. So this deck core will probably sell out by the end of the day. I might get here sooner than later. It is a big brain deck that you have to hunker down with though. I saw a lot of players doing their stuff with it early. I thought it was either gimmicks or that kind of stuff, but when you get big brains in tournaments at the LCS, you see how it really performs. I still think it was overhyped at the beginning. Oh my gosh, this deck's going to destroy Yu-Gi-Oh! And make players quit. Not really like that, but I do think that the Drytrons have a high ceiling now, past what I thought before, and they seem pretty good. Also, the Evil/Live Twin engine overperforming itself, and it's crazy. You look at this front page, collector rares already down as low as $30 with 10% off today. Oh, we'll talk about the collector rare market in just a second, but for the singles, I think now is the time to go. You're looking at pieces for your Invoke core. You're looking at the Evil/Live Twin engine that my player brain gets me in trouble with my market brain. Sometimes I would want to have that engine in my back pocket, looking at how it mixed with Eldritch and does its things. It's so freaking cool. You're past the second row and we're already to everything being under $1 though. If you're looking for pickups at all, today is probably the day to do it on this set. Now, collector rares are bottoming out like crazy though. I would have got in big trouble if I was still a vendor, because I would have sunk so much money into these Tomb collector rares just thinking they're absolutely safe. This is probably one of my worst calls all year, but looking at how Toon Kingdom Secret Rare was and thinking, wow, okay, collector rare, Toon stuff, special rarity, collectors, oh my gosh, I would have gone the heck in. So I will warn that collector rares are a wonky beast, and even with these all being first edition, when you're looking at 15 different ones per set, only a couple of them can be worth real money. The Nightmares are staples that I think once events return at, they'd be pretty good holds. These might be the ones to be taking from the set as the most generic extra deck monsters, and then looking around, Artemis might not be bad by that train of thought as well. The engines, you're relying on these being good, these really pushing into the metagame and sustaining themselves very long term for them to be good long term holds. And then the collectability of beat cops, just kind of funny. So do consider how you're spending, what you're spending on. Don't just rush in, oh my gosh, sale, but think about what you want to be grabbing from the set and what you want to be playing and keeping. Drone Lockbird Gold Rare has gone up in price. We have a couple of cheap listings left before it's almost $5 sold, but high quantities here low. I still have a call for this to be ahead of the ultra rare originally as the second highest rarity behind ultimate rare. Some people choosing to side or main this. It's format friendly depending on what format you're in. Really good long-term hold to just have, but even the commons going up. When the gold rare exists, why are you all doing this? The common from the structure deck for 20, haha, memes, but then it's also $5. So we're seeing certain versions of this versus market price actually start to run out of quantities too. It's kind of weird. You have the rare, you have the OTS, etc. I would think the gold rare will eventually outperform the ultra rare though, so I do think it is a good grab sooner than later. Of course, using that TCG player link in the description down below, which supports the channel whenever you click it by just whatever you're buying. It gives a small percent back to the market. I tried to do a new pitch here. It's gone terribly wrong for the meme, but it does support the channel, how you use it, and people wanted me to explain how exactly that works. Now, not sponsored at all, just some cool merch and a little aged advice. There's a new Sly for the Sky Dragon t-shirt over on Hot Topic, and a new jersey for Kaiba Corporation over on Box Lunch. Both sales are pretty good today. They're about the lowest you'll get without a coupon on either site. I would go ahead and do your order of like one shirt each, and if you really like a shirt like a cartoon character, I tend to get multiple. I tend to get 4 of a shirt that I fall in love with and know I'd want to wear. 2 to 3 to cycle in and use, and 1 for backup, just in case something happens to the others. So I really like to go that deep in shirts. Imagine if you lost your favorite t-shirt or something happened to it, it tore, you can't wear it anymore. That messes with me a little some days. So that's why I like to go in shirts like that. And you can see certain versions, I don't know if they ever existed to start, are sold out, and they do charge a little more if you size up. It's like they have to use more material or something over here, but Box Lunch actually does not charge anything if you have to size up. Next card is Dimensional Barrier. I've never felt such an artificial push on a card. While I do respect its long-term floodgate-ness-ish, like, I don't know why so many. Have you bought your dimensional berries? You better get your dimensional berries. You should get them every single stream, every single discussion on underestimated cards, every single one. I like this card. I think it's good to have them for past formats in general, but it's just not completely disappearing in the cheaper ranges. When I look at the next page, there's still like a $6 copy, or there used to be, I suppose. Was I on the page? Or is it gone? No, it's right here. $6 copies, 2 of them right here. I was about to eat my own words a little. They keep relisting though. It keeps happening. And then they're towards $9 to $10. It just feels like the most pushed ever. You're missing out if you don't have dimensional barriers. Are you really though? This card is amazing, but you've got to win a dice roll, or you can only apply this when side decking. And it feels like how trap format has gone. You want to deal with destroying the board or taking care of the board rather than preventing it. If you can't prevent it, great. But a lot of people can go into synchros and other routes when you're activating this card with, say, Virtual World. It's not an end-all be-all to any deck except really Zodiac, it feels like, and if they're playing an Eldritch variant, they still have other plays. Now, speaking of XCs, we have Downward Magician up in price on multiple of its copies running off market. Pretty much is just another way for people to go Zeus on top. Wouldn't think that you would see Downward bought out again in a long time, but almost all of her copies and versions are going up / out on the market in terms of quantities, and that's why it's an extra Zeus material. Necroface, this one always scares me. It has a dark aura when you're playing it. If you've been to the streams, you just know I'm scared of this card from regionals in the past. And with Necroface here, we're seeing it go up on almost all ends. It's just kind of interesting from highest to lowest. There's only 3 copies of this card. It's at 3 right now. Kind of scary to see it go up on the market. Seer and Graph are both up, with Graph having $2 rares in every single version going up after the ban list, and then Seer being a $3 rare, only having 2 versions in the gold rare, pretty much going up and off the market for a little bit here. So be aware, if you have these, you might have some extra money. If you're just sitting on them, keeping a BA deck to the side, you don't want to sell, don't feel any pressure. But if you have extras, now might be the time to offload a couple of these before they get reprints or something. Red Eyes Black Dragon. This is probably one of the most underestimated cards in a long time, but Dragoon's not performing, John. With Maximum Gold, I just really like this. While Blue Eyes and Dark Magician are more relevant to people's conversations, and they both were half printed, to see it this grossly underpriced versus them, I do think this is a great long-term hold and something to slowly get extra copies of for such a unique version, because guess what? As people get these for super long-term keeps, actual collectors rather than people trying to flip, people will want to complete the vanilla trio, won't they? So Red Eyes will slowly disappear off the market over time, and I think it's the best for percentage of price point up out of the 3 to probably be grabbing. The Spellbook engine is up. Apparently there's a Spellbook Dogmatica deck that can be played for its highest rarities, the ultimate rares. So you see the first edition prophecies here are well above $60 now. Fate is actually surprisingly way up for its first edition Protection as well. You have Power, and I think I have the other spellbook somewhere, but Spellbook of Knowledge is surprisingly, for its ultra rare first edition, almost easier to find in terms of quantities than the Spirit Charmers. This engine has always felt like it comes back around towards a metagame, and it did happen with that, I believe, true Draco-like deck in recent history, so I feel like this is something to keep an eye on even the lower end. But the entire higher end is up. And let me show you guys, sorry to take a little bit of time here. Spellbook of Secrets should be up in the price as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. There's the Unlims, and the first editions, yep, towards $80 freaking dollars at this point. So this entire engine is just ridiculously high priced on the ultimate rares. I know it has been high, but it's fluctuating back up right now for a bit. And for the final ride of Market Watch, we're gonna react Andy here. I don't really like to go over, oh, this old ultimate rare has spiked, that old ultimate rare has spiked. What I do like to do, though, once in a while, is just open a bunch of tabs and see where things are going quickly, rather than trying to deep dive mind theory into it, because it's just so easy to make an ultimate rare go burr whenever we're looking at it. And I've accidentally pressed Astral Pack 2 here. We see Dragoons actually way back under market price randomly, and those fusions, I like to keep stuff like this, the auto fusions and vanillas from the Astral Packs, but I just want to dive in here and see if it's really around there. Yeah, $100 lowest, which is under the 120 it used to be. Oh, it's always stonks to keep Mermail Atlanteans. Something could happen that pushes the deck to the next level. And then Astral Pack 1 is what we're missing here, and then every single Turbo Pack as well. I just like to open these tabs, go through, and kind of react to what's happening and see how it's going. So we're not a reaction channel, but here's a reaction in Market Watch. Trishula up, of course. It's been crazy due to the Ice Barrier structure deck. MST, I think this is great for past formats. The only true rival is the first edition original. And Fiendish Chain, I always feel like this is undervalued to some extent, and you have to click on some of these to see their real price. Yeah, Dino Rabbit format is something people, I think, will like to play at some point in time for past formats, and at just $20, this feels kind of cheap to me. The rest of it, though, you have the random fusions, you have other decks, and then we get into Gaia. This recently went burr due to Virtual World. Castel, one of the past best Xyz of all time. We've seen multiple buyouts on this, but it's in its coolant phase, it looks like. And Spell Shattering Arrow. I remember the times it actually got hyped. Tour Guide, yep, Farfa has a playset. He'd be interested in the prices. Really up there. And then Big Eye for Dragon Ruler format. Trap Trick stuff is getting hype right now, too. And this is on the lower quantities as well. Pot of Duality has just shocked me over time. Yamato getting recent hype. It looks like it's cooling down. 172, 180. Yeah, despite True Draco going, like, people still love the ultimate rare and have been holding on to it. Max C, did anybody lower their price after it didn't come off the ban list again? It's getting hard to hold on to that. Yeah, down in price just 6969. Nice. Down in price just a little bit, getting more competitive as there's another ban list facing that did not have it. Are you losing hope yet, guys? Tenki is interesting in conversation because we had a recent thing that I wouldn't buy, I would hold off, I would wait for there hopefully not to be Beast Warrior hype, and then Boojins get announced to have new cards. So Tenki might be something you want to start considering actually around now. Marksman doing extremely well in terms of long-term pricing, but let's see versus that market price, the Fallout. Yeah, 53 versus a market price of 70. Weird how that happens when sales rates just can't confirm themselves. And Tsukiyomi, GOAT format, it's been crazy. It goes down to 50, back up, down to 50, back up. Eventually, I think it'll have a new resting spot besides 50. Photon Thrasher, I feel like this was 25-30 not too long ago. And a Breeze Dragon, a great pickup for plant format. Judgment Dragon, crazy market price. Is it actually down versus? Do we have a motivated seller? Of course we don't. Judgment Dragon, a really great ultimate rare. And with Turbo Pack, remember, you only have one ultimate instead of 3 different ones floating around. Heraculon, though, Sklad Beast format can be something that people enjoy from the past if they learn to take turn-based playing and grind games rather than OTK and build your board. You have Chaos Sorcerer for the Chaos formats and Foolish Burial. Wow, that's gone to the moon. Literally, that's crazy. I haven't looked at Super Foolish in a while. We see mod plays Nearman to German being the cheapest at 175 before it's almost a $200 card. I respect this card's history, but 200? We now have the Lart. We have other versions. You might want to look at other nice Foolish Burials rather than this one. Caius, it's the one that always falls down versus its market price, but looks like there's very few listings. Super Rescue Cat's looking kind of nice. Let's see where Caius is actually at real quick. It's ultimate rare around $73, $74. Not doing too poorly for itself. Tragodia, I love this card. This card is awesome. And you have the second coming of Gores, the ability to snatch steal your opponent's cards for a turn. It's really nice. $74, $75. I do think this was underestimated for the longest, but right now falling out versus market price. Colossal Fighter's the one that can't win. I think he's a cool card. I think he really has a history in the game. He just can't stay up in price. People don't respect their old synchro, but they respect Dark Arm Dragon. He's still $300+. That's not a big surprise. Catastor, everybody made fun of him when he was in Dude, yet the ultimate rare looks like it's doing a little better than Colossal Fighter, but not by much. And finally, Thunder King Ryo. This was around $90 for the longest. Is it actually under? Yeah, it looks like some motivated sell. Nah, not really. It's around 90. I thought it was 85 flap, and then I saw the shipping. So it's still been sticking in real hard there. People love their stun cards and past format cards. Skill Drain Ultra Rare is one to consider, but we have the Lart Ultra now. I know that other versions of it have been going up. Yeah, this is going up too. It's weird. A lot of versions of Skill Drain going up right now. Maybe the Lart is something to consider instead. That being said, thanks for watching today's Market Watch and react Andy to all the turbo packs. I know it's not as in-depth, big brain on these kinds of cards, but it's so easy to jump these cards, make them go up in price for no real reason. I'd rather just cover them this way and get more in-depth into my feelings about stuff like Genesis Impact. What's Good 10 works on Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily for today. 10% off. It's kind of like a flash sale. Get your singles. It doesn't work on sealed, and that supports the channel. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the conversations and kind of a wider look through the market than I usually would do. I like doing that. Maybe we'll do OTS pack react Andy later in the month.